X-ray vision for lawyers. Sound crazy. We're talking evidence in a blink, documents analyzed instantly, like having a whole legal team in your corner at all times. Meta's Orion AR glasses, they're getting us closer than ever. That's our deep dive today.
Definitely has that sci-fi vibe to it, yeah. It's not just augmenting reality anymore. See, Orion wants to completely merge our digital work with the physical stuff, especially in law. Huge implications.
Big stack of articles on this, and even snuck a peek at what the AI in Law group is saying over on LinkedIn. Let me tell you, people are all over the place, excited, terrified, you name it. Kind of how I feel about most new tech, honestly.
It is a massive change, that's for sure. Think about it. Lightweight glasses, you can barely feel them, but then bam, holographic calls, AI helping you see stuff, working across all these virtual screens, and you're controlling it all with tiny little movements.
So it's like shrinking your whole legal career, the library, the courtroom, and stuffing it into these glasses. Instead of those giant case files, you're pulling up precedents with a quick glance. That's going to change how trials work, right?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Imagine a lawyer shoots down an argument instantly. Boom. Holographic projection of the exact case law right there for the jury to see. Talk about impactful. But then there's the issue of fairness. Will everyone even have the same access to this tech? Level playing field kind of thing.
That's a big one, yeah. And we haven't even touched on holographic communication yet. Client meetings where you're not just listening, but you're reading their body language too, like they're right there in the room.
Yeah.
That's a game changer for sure.
Absolutely. And think about accessibility. Remote hearings become truly immersive. No more geographical limitations, or even physical ones in some cases, could completely change who gets to participate in the legal system, for better or worse.
And since we're talking about breaking down barriers, what about international cases? If Orion can really translate languages in real time as well as they're saying it can, language barriers in court could become a thing of the past.
It's a fascinating idea, but accuracy is crucial, especially in law. A single word mistranslated could have massive consequences. We'll have to see how it all plays out in real-world situations.
Back to those lawyer superpowers for a sec. The AI assistants, that's what really blew my mind. It's like having real-time legal analysis, like beamed straight to your eyeball.
Not just analysis, though, right? Think about catching those tiny contract loopholes, the ones that even the best lawyers might miss. It could totally change the game in terms of accuracy and all.
Like having a team of legal experts whispering in your ear, feeding you info. But doesn't that kind of make you wonder, are we losing something with all this automation? What about those gut instincts, the things that make a great lawyer?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Tech can make us better at what we do, but we can't let it replace the human side of law. Judgment calls, strategy, empathy algorithms can't replicate that.
Exactly, because it always comes back to people in the end. Which reminds me, we got to talk about this multi-screen workspace Orion's offering, the whole work from anywhere thing, especially for busy lawyers on the go.
Okay, picture this. You're on a train, right? Big case coming up. Suddenly, virtual screens pop up all around you. Case files, live feeds from the courtroom, even expert consultations, all happening seamlessly.
I gotta say, that does sound kind of cool, but also a little overwhelming. No. Is that really multitasking, or are we just setting ourselves up for information overload?
That's a valid point. Technology giveth and technology taketh away, right?
Right.
Boost productivity, but also burnout's a real thing. Finding that balance, that's the key.
Totally. Can't exactly win a case if you're fried from staring at a million screens. Okay, ready for the feature that feels the most sci-fi out of all of this. Neural control. Subtle gestures, just moving your eyes, basically. You're thinking your way through documents with Orion.
Like something straight out of a movie, yeah. The potential is huge. Imagine navigating these massive legal databases using only your mind. But it does make you wonder about privacy, data security, things like that. Stuff we got to figure out as this technology keeps evolving.
Right, because if our thoughts can control our devices, where do you even draw the line? Who owns that data then? It gets kind of blurry. Uncharted territory for sure.
Absolutely. Important conversation to have, even while we're geeking out about all the cool stuff. Ethical guidelines, that's going to be crucial, especially with technology this powerful.
Yeah, it's like we're trying to walk this tightrope between pushing tech as far as it can go, but also not forgetting, the human side of law. What makes it, law.
Exactly. And that leads us to thinking bigger picture, Beyond the bells and whistles of Orion, what could it really mean? Making the legal system more accessible. That's got huge potential.
Definitely. That's something I've been wondering about this whole time. We've got holographic calls, instant translation, all that. Could this be a game changer for people who've always struggled to get fair legal help?
Think about it. Virtual legal clinics, open 24/7. Someone in the middle of nowhere could get advice, and it'd feel like they're sitting right across from a lawyer. Or real-time translation, so everyone understands what's going on in court, no matter what language they speak.
Wow. It's like we're talking about a truly level playing field. Everyone having a real shot at understanding their rights, knowing how to fight for themselves.
That's the idea. It's about using technology to empower people. But of course, we got to be smart about it too. We can't let these tools create a new kind of inequality, right?
Yeah.
Access for everyone is key.
Absolutely. Technology by itself, it's not good or bad. It's all about how we use it. Which brings us right back to what we keep coming back to. How to make sure Orion and tech like it is used for good, for real justice.
Got to have those tough conversations. No way around it. Ethical boundaries, clear guidelines, and everyone being on board, the people making policies, the techies building this stuff, lawyers, and everyday folks too. It's a shared responsibility.
Like, we're at this crossroads, right? Incredible tech on one side that could completely change how law works, but on the other, we've got to make sure it's serving justice, not just being fast and efficient for the sake of it.
And that's the question I'm leaving with our listeners today. What kind of legal system do we want? One that's fair, where everyone has a seat at the table. Because it's not just about the gadgets, it's about the kind of future we're building.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into Orion and what it could mean for the future of law, here's something to think about. What if the biggest impact isn't making lawyers faster or better, but giving everyone the power to understand and use the legal system themselves? Thanks for being with us, and until next time, keep exploring.